Greetings, beautiful people. So I want to point out something that's pretty hilarious too, okay? And how this whole bullshit of misunderstandings come in. You see, I watch Star Wars, and I can tell you right now, there's a lot of scenes from like the Jedis and the Sith Lords where they don't really have any misunderstandings because they kind of sense what's going on. They even sense when somebody's coming or when somebody's in a planet. Put it that way. You know what I mean? And that's why there's no misunderstandings or misunderstandings, right? Because they're like, oh, I sense, you know, the hatred or the fear in you. Or like when Yoda went to, you know, exile in a planet, there was a force that prevented him from being discovered there. But in actuality, you know what I mean? Look at that. They can even sense when there's a presence on the planet, right? And I remember I was talking to my son, and I was you know, I was kind of upset with him about something. I don't remember what it was, because I don't remember shit like that. I kind of let shit go when it comes to him. But I remember that I was telling him something. He's like, be quiet, just be quiet, just be quiet, right? And then I'm like, what did you say? You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you talking to me? And he goes, no, Papa, I'm talking to myself because I don't want to get in trouble. And I'm like, you know, that it's mind blowing. All right, and things like that kind of made me think, like, yo, you know what? You were talking to yourself. Well, you were not talking to me just now. He's like, no, I was talking to myself. I was telling myself to be quiet, and I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry, but I'm telling myself to be quiet so I don't get in trouble here. I was like, yeah, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I started laughing. I'm telling you, you can learn a lot from kids. But my son dead ass told me, be quiet, be quiet. But he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to himself. He said, I'm talking to myself because I don't want to get in trouble. All right? And this is why I talk about language in and of itself, okay, keeps you trapped. Because in order for you to even communicate, you got to use language, which further consents that you are human, okay? So this is why I say, like, you have to try to, you don't have to do anything, you do whatever you want. Let me just suggest this to you, but it's very good, or it's favorable for you, because there's no good or bad, like whatever it is, you could live a good life without even knowing all this shit. Whatever good means to you though. You could die or transform. Only thing is, you're gonna not know anything that's going on, okay? But there's people who could live here, enjoy their life to the fullest, know nothing of spirituality, and they say, I lived the best life I could, right? They found something that fulfilled them. All right? And this is why we should never interfere. There's people who could be super religious, okay? Super religious. Believe in Jesus Christ. They lived their best life ever. And they die on their deathbed saying that they lived the best life they could. They had love from their family and all that, but they were very religious. So that's why we can't judge, we can't interfere in nobody's life. They lived their experience, but they were meant to live their experience here, whatever they meant to do. And there's just people such as you and I, if you're in this video still watching at 3:38, all right, and say to yourself, this is not what life is about, you know? And then some of us go through a spiritual awakening and end up with a fucked up life after that, because we don't know now how to balance back into this reality that we call life. And there's people who say, I can't come back into the matrix now that I have woken up, and you know, now that I know so much, I can't just come back into the matrix. But that to me shows a little bit of disempowerment, because see, we're meant to shapeshift. We're meant to, see, you act one way when you go on a job interview, right? And then you completely change. Like, let's say you go out the door after the job interview and you meet up with your friends, you're a completely different person. When you go hang out with your girl, you're a completely different person. Then when you talk to your mom, you're another person. You're constantly shape-shifting. And then when you're at your job, you present yourself another way. So you're always shape-shifting. You got to learn how to mold yourself. This is why Bruce Lee said, be like water, because you are water. Your body is made of pure water, 172% water, but you know what? I think you're more than that. You are water. All right? You are water. You're fluid. You're the influid influence, the influence. But check this out. It's about you knowing that you can mold yourself into anything that you want, be anything that you want, because you know what you are. At the end of the day, it's about being what you want to be, but not getting lost in it. Okay? The same way, be human to the fullest. You want to be, you want to express yourself through this vessel. So you got to be human to express it to this vessel. This is why sometimes when you see yogis and all that, and I mentioned this in the other video with the psychedelics, is I have nothing against it. Everybody has their own journey. And don't think that when I come in here talking about anything that I'm judging anybody or I'm like criticizing anybody's beliefs or anything like that. It's just me sharing my point of view because I can do that. But it has nothing to do with me saying, oh, that this is right and wrong. It's just basically the way I look at it is, if I'm living here as a human, I might as well live the human experience and experience life to the fullest. Okay? But just knowing who and what I am. But we're here to learn. But you're going to school to learn shit that you are not good. First of all, people even tell you this. I go to school, I went to college, but when you come out into the work world, everything that I learned in college, I forgot about because I didn't use it in the work world. What does that mean? That means that whatever you learned is garbage. That's why when you go to school, you feel sleepy because your soul or your spirit doesn't resonate with what the fuck they're telling you. That's why people can't stand going to school. But meanwhile, look at this topic. These topics spark something in you to keep learning. Like sometimes when you watch videos or read books or shit like that, you gotta read one after the other. You gotta watch a video one after the other. You find yourself binge eating because this is eating, but you binge eat. All right, but you gotta know the balance between that because you can't just binge eat. You gotta also know how to digest. Okay, how to digest so that you can fucking like you expand. But then you contract, you expand. When you eat food, you expand your stomach and then you gotta take a shit, right? But what do? You take a shit, you expel the waste. But then when you listen to information, you listen to the information, you extract what you need, but you don't form any belief systems around it. Keep an open mind. The same way when you have an open hand, you can give money and you can receive money. That means give abundance, receive abundance. But if you have a closed hand, you're hoarding shit, but you can't receive anything now. You just block yourself off. Especially when people think they know what they're talking, they know everything, they know it all. You know what I mean? I'll tell you right now, I don't know shit. I'm just learning. I'm learning every day. I'm learning. There's experiences that happen to me through meditation, through the dream states. There's dreams that I have that I can't decipher the next day because they're so fucking weird. Like, I'm talking about weird. I don't even want to talk about it. I'll just keep it to myself because I got to decode them myself. But I can't even talk about it because I don't know what the fuck they are. Like, why did I dream that? What the fuck is going on in my head? You know what I mean? Like, there's weird shit. And is like you gotta really go deep. And this is why I say meditation is super important because you can start to learn, and you this is a muscle. When you meditate, it's like you're exercising. You're exercising. When you exercise your physical body, but you're exercising your spirituality. And the reason I say this is because you see, to me, the super consciousness is that in between states. Okay? Because what's funny is that when you get knocked out, right? You wake up, you don't remember what the fuck happened in between. You're like, what the fuck happened? You wake up, you don't know what the fuck happened. When you go to sleep, you dream, you wake up, you don't know what the fuck happened. You can't remember your dream unless you really sit down and contemplate. But it's so crazy how the moment, you see, this is why you're very powerful, because the moment you pick up a pen and paper, I promise you that your dreams will start coming to you. And it's not, and here, look at what I just said, they come to you. This is why I say everything attracts to you when you position yourself in line to position yourself to what it is that you want. See, a lot of people will sit there and be like, they're trying to remember their dream. They're chasing the memory of the dream. When in reality, all you got to do is be like, all right, I'm going to pick up a pen and paper and I'm going to position myself for the dream to come to you. The memory comes back to you. You get what I'm saying? You're not chasing the memory. Okay? So it's important to keep a journal, but don't try to decipher it from that one dream, which is why I say there's certain dreams that are weird that right now I have dreams that are weird that I cannot decipher, but I'm going to wait to have more dreams so that with the journal, I can start to connect the dots on what it is that is happening in the messages. It's kind of like when you're reading tarot cards and the oracle cards or you know what I mean? You kind of like you create a big message from it. You don't just one aura and that's it. You gotta have a couple of cards or 3 or 4 messages to come in to kind of make a story out of it. And then you have your mystery, the my story, not the his story. Okay? Fuck, man, I'm telling you, I went all over the place. Like I told you in the other video, man, you just gotta ride the wave. Ride the wave. Zigzag, ride the wave. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna share something with you. I'm gonna share you my drawings that, you know, I've had through my meditations, things that have inspired me, you know what I mean? And these are the things that I actually want to share, you know, and downloading a video I had played by accident, right? But I want to show you my drawings, okay? So just 1 second. You can fast forward it, all right? But I'm not editing. All right, so because I'm not editing, so you guys can fast forward that part, all right? But this is the thing, all right? See this? This is what I see in my meditations, okay? This is me, okay? This is me. This is me, and this is what, this is the source, okay? And this is what's birthed out to express itself here in this physical realm, okay? You're zigzag. But then you got this entity here, which is what's on camera, expressing itself, all right, through Peter, okay, which is my real name, all right. So I mean, I thought I'd share that with you, all right. See, there's other things that I draw that inspire me, and you know what it is? I don't just draw it and say I'm going to create this. It's just something that at the moment has to be inspired at that moment, and that drawing was inspired in a certain moment for me to just draw it, okay? So you just saw what I kind of see as zigzag, okay? There's beyond space and time, infinite potential, limitless power and energy, all right? Devouring. I mean, you can pretty much, sky's not the limit. You see, even that traps you by saying sky's the limit. Why is sky's the limit? People say, oh, sky's the limit. Why is that? What does that mean? That if the sky's the limit, you can't go outer space, right? You can't go past the sky, right? Or is that like a message subliminally telling you that you can't go outer space, right? So, and that'll be another video. I ain't even gonna get into that, because when you see them through telescopes and you see all these other planets and all that, or the planets you see that are like in your scope of sight, like the moon, the sun, I ain't gonna talk about that now. I'll talk about that in another video and what my point of view on that is. But, you know, I went all over the place. Ride the wave, all right? Ride the wave with me. I'm riding your wave. If I'm following and keeping up with you, I'm following your wave. Well, I'm riding your wave. I ain't following you. I'm riding your wave. I don't follow nobody. All right? And you notice these words, subscribe. Yeah, the subscribe. Yeah, we got to use that word, but be conscious of why we use that word. You know, you're not under somebody's subscription. I'm not subscribed to you. You know, I'm just staying in touch with you in this physical realm that we're at through the World Wide Web that we call the internet. But let's practice using it, the web, the real web of who we are, you know what I mean? Not the extrasensory perceptions or the extrasensory senses or anything like that. Because the common senses is all we associate with, and all that, even the common senses are not too common. But I'm looking at my, you know, I'm looking at a little blinking battery thing, and it looks like my battery is gonna die. So I might as well cut the video out here. All right. If I had anything else to say, I guess it ain't gonna be said, because it's about to be cut off because my battery's flashing right in my face. But hey, you know what? Like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk soon.